Hello again, everybody. It's time for the World Series.
Hi, everybody. This is Vin Scully, and here's Ted Sobel.
Thank you, Vince. And here's Tim Neverett, who's joining us, Dodger radio voice for the last 7 years. And Tim, this is what we play for, as they say. We're here.
I remember it being at Camelback Ranch this
Yes.
spring, coming off a world championship, and the first meeting that Dave Roberts had with the players. And I went around the room too, and I talked to players, and they all told me the same thing. That was last year. And really, literally, it was only a few months before.
Exactly.
Because when you play in the World Series, your off season is really short.
Yeah.
So, you got November, December, and then you're right back at it. And then you start in mid-February. But the meaning of the conversations and what the players were saying, it hit home. And they said, look, that's last year. We got to do it again. We have to continue while we have this window of time. We've got to continue to do this. So that was the message in the clubhouse in spring training. It's been the message in the clubhouse all season. It hasn't changed one bit. No matter what's happened, this team has gone through, what a lot of teams go through in a 162 game marathon. They go through their ups, their downs, their personnel changes, their injuries. They survive them all, and here we are with 4 wins away from another title. Yep. And standing in the way is a very good Toronto team.
Yeah, the question is how good, and are they good enough? Certainly against an unbelievable Dodgers starting staff, but the fact that they're playing at home, that crowd, maybe because it's just sort of an enclosed situation. It sounds like you're in a closet. You tell me. I haven't been to a ball game there in a long time, but listening to the ALCS, it sounded like a total zoo.
It sounds like any night at Dodger Stadium is what it sounds like.
Okay.
Dodger Stadium is the loudest stadium in baseball every single night.
Great.
And the PA has a lot to do with that. I don't know a visiting broadcaster that hasn't complained about the volume once the game gets going at Dodger Stadium. And that's an open air stadium, and it's a huge open air stadium, right? So when you look at, Toronto, I've been there both ways. I've been there when the roof's been open. I've been there when the roof's closed. Yeah, it's louder when it's closed. And that place is going crazy. Those fans are starving right now because the Toronto Maple Leafs have just tortured them over and over and over.
1967, baby.
It's been a while, right? So that's their main thing is hockey. I mean, even yesterday at Media Day, our players, Dodger players, are answering questions about hockey. They're talking about the hockey shows they watch and Shorzy and stuff like that, right? All the hockey questions come up. So, the Raptors did win, though, right? The basketball. So that's all they've had. They've had two championships in the early 90s back to back.
Yeah, 32 years since the last one.
Yeah. And so, they're going to be loud. But I think the Dodger players, more than anybody, would be prepared for it because it's loud at Dodger Stadium all the time.
Makes a lot of sense.
So the noise level, Ted's I don't think is going to be a big factor to the Dodger players.
Okay. But it's certainly great for the atmosphere and to watch it on TV, too, because you even get a feel for it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can feel it. I mean, the decibel level is going to be up around 90 to 100. I'll tell you the truth. There were times at Dodger Stadium, I have these earplugs. In fact, they're right here.
Okay.
They're called loops. Right? Yep. And I will wear them under my headset.
Oh.
At Dodger Stadium. It gets that loud some nights.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've been wearing a headset like you. I've been wearing a headset for a living for a long period of time. I'm trying to save whatever hearing I have left.
Exactly.
So I think that, if I were in Toronto tonight, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd probably have these guys on and the headphones on over them.
Okay, so we had our show after Game 2 of the NLCS and talked about what was ahead. A couple of decent highlights since then, right? Mr. Ohtani taking care of biz, and he was Babe Ruth times a million in Game 4. The only thing everybody said, it's the greatest history of a sporting event and athletic feat ever. And maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. Doesn't matter. It was fantastic. But I say the only way it could have been better was if it was either the clinching game in the World Series or a Game 7 in the World Series. So now who knows what's in store for us?
Still got another couple of games to figure it out.
Exactly.
He might do it again. But, think about it. Like Don Larson pitched a perfect game, right?
Yep.
But he didn't hit 3 bombs in that game. Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in the World Series against the Dodgers. But he didn't strike out 10 he wasn't throwing 100 miles an hour. So, but Ohtani can do it all. He can, and he's proven it.
Yeah.
That game against the Brewers, and then the game against the Marlins, the regular season game against the Marlins, where he eclipsed 50-50, where he had, he went 6 for 6, had 10 runs batted in, 3 home runs. Didn't pitch in that game. But up until that game against the Brewers the other night, the game Ohtani played in Miami was the best game I've ever seen anybody play.
That was amazing.
Because of the pitching side of things and what he did on the mound, incredible, just incredible.
Well, as you could see with this graphic here, Babe Ruth hit 3 home runs twice in the postseason. Of course, only the World Series in those days. So he held some World Series records for a long time. Babe did.
Yeah. And that
different era, can't compare.
That one that Jose Altuve did.
Yeah.
I did that game for the Red Sox.
Okay.
That was in 2017. Chris Sale was pitching.
Yeah.
And he had 3 home runs in that game. I don't need to get into, the whole story. I think we all know why. Because he knew what was coming.
By the way, were you wearing your earplugs then because of the crashing of the cans?
No, but I know exactly. I mean, I've been to Houston a lot, in that dugout a lot.
Okay.
It's a whole other topic, but I know,
yes, of course.
I know the exact trash can, exactly where it was.
Wow.
It was a weird, like a square looking thing. It wasn't like a regular old metal trash can. It was hard plastic, sat underneath a TV that was on the way down to the runway to the clubhouse.
That's your next book, Tim.
No, I know exactly where it is and exactly what happened. And I remember in that game, my partner, Joe Castiglione, who went into the Hall of Fame last summer, 2 summers ago, he leaned over to me during a break and he said, "Boy, they're swinging the bat like they know what's coming." Boy, little did he know. Anyway, go ahead.
That's beautiful. How about Shohei, the bomb that he hit? Over the roof, okay? I grew up in the 60s when it was all about Stargell. He did it twice, supposedly. There's no video on it, but if Scully called it, it's true. And nobody did it. I don't think anyone's done it over the right field wall since. I think Piazza's done it, and maybe McGuire, I believe.
And also, Fernando Tatis Jr. did a couple of years ago.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, he did.
But a right-hander, though, right?
A right-hander. He hit it on the left field wall. Left field wall.
Yeah.
I remember because I was doing that game on television, and I couldn't believe it because the ball skipped off the top of the pavilion wall, hit it just right, and it went way out into the area where somebody was eating, and they were surprised as anybody the ball came to them. But
now remember, when Stargell did it, that was the parking lot behind.
Right, and one of them was marked over. I think one or both might have been marked over 500 feet.
Wow.
And I think the ball that Ohtani hit the other night, I think something happened with StatCast. Because
that doesn't make sense. How could it? And I want to say only, I think it was 469. Come on.
Only 469.
Exactly.
How can it not be 500, right?
I don't know.
I just don't understand how it cannot be, closer to 500 feet. Either way, it counts the same. It was a tape measure job. Really impressive. And you know what? When we see guys who are going into the Hall of Fame, like Freddie Freeman and, Mookie Betts and people like that, we see them in the dugout like this. Oh my, they can't believe it.
I've got pictures of that.
how good of an outing how good of an athletic achievement does it have to be when when the guys who are the best of the best in the world can't even believe it. Their minds are blown.
It's totally ridiculous.
So, Shohei's on a whole other level. He really
By the way, I was going to ask you, as far as it's not important, we won't spend any time on it, but the at least 500-foot home run potentially, right? I go back to Secretariat. When Secretariat broke the record in all 3 races in the Triple Crown, one of them was changed later because everybody said that clock was not right. And they went over and over again, and they officially changed it to a record. Is it possible they could do that on this? Do you have any phone numbers to call? Or
No, I don't have anybody to call there, but
why not though? Right?
But I
Get
don't
it
know how
right.
I don't know how they would do it. The ballpark's loaded with technology. Every major league park is
Right.
with measuring technology and things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, if somebody were to go back and piece together every video angle and I don't know, use the Pythagorean theorem, they might be able to figure out exactly how far it went. But I still think it was further than 469. I think he got cheated there. Not that it would have counted for any more runs.
No, but
I don't care if it's 369 or 469, as long as it goes over the fence. But
exactly,
when you see one like that, it's so impressive. It's just like, you just don't see this stuff up from everybody else.
And not just that, but of course he pitched 6 innings of shutout ball with 10 Ks. It's like, hey, the only other thing he could have done was make it perfect, right?
Yeah, I mean, he gave up 2 hits.
Exactly.
They didn't mean anything. So
no,
what does he do for an encore? What does he do? We would expect. Now it hasn't been announced.
Yeah,
and we don't know, and who knows what's going to happen. But we would expect that the Dodgers would stay with the same rotation they went with the Brewers, right?
Yeah, you would think.
So if that's the case, if that is the case, then Glasnow would pitch game 3 and Ohtani would pitch game 4. We don't know that yet. That hasn't been determined yet. They're going to wait and see what happens in the first 2 games here, I think, in Toronto. So let's just assume it's going to go that way. Yep. And if the results are the same and it's a closeout game, why wouldn't you expect similar results out of the guy?
Exactly.
He's just a machine. He's unbelievable.
Okay, and the Jays are here because of that Springer guy again. He did it again, Mr. Postseason. And look at the location of this pitch. I tell you what, I got warning track power. I might have hit it off the base of the fence if they give me that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What a bad
I
pitch
don't
in
understand
that
how you throw that guy that
unbelievable.
Pitch ever.
And that's his pitch too.
Yeah. Like, why would you throw that then? You wouldn't throw it in May or June. Why would you throw it in the ALCS in Game 7? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I feel terrible for the result for the Mariners.
Yeah.
They had one of the greatest seasons ever in Mariners history, and this came up short because of a 3-run homer by Springer. And he continues to climb the list of postseason home run leaders. Now you're going to see, as we look at these lists, as time goes on, you're going to see more and more modern players.
Yeah,
and
there are more games, of course.
Yeah, there's so many more postseason games to play in now compared to what there used to be. So we've got to keep that in mind and consideration. And Babe Ruth's going to get passed, and World Series home runs or postseason home runs soon, and he's just going to be a footnote in history at some point in time. But
you can only imagine if the Babe had 3 rounds in those days, how many he might have ended up with. Yeah.
In those days too, you didn't have guys striking out hitters.
Yeah.
You didn't have, 4 or 5 guys with 100-mile-an-hour arms coming out of the bullpen back then either. So it's different. It's a different game. And frankly, it's, based on from what we know from history, it's more challenging today than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And the players are getting better and better, more specialized as time goes on. And
Springer, but 23 home runs is still amazing.
Yeah. And say what you want, put 2017 aside.
Yeah.
He's still been a really good player.
Yeah.
Whether his team was doing some untoward things or not, I would say they're not in Toronto. And I would say he's still a really good player and a clutch postseason player.
Yeah. And, this guy's pretty clutch too, and I'll tell you what, he's incredibly impressive, Vlad Guerrero. And the reason that the team is as good as they are for the long haul, for the most part, I mean, his offense is ridiculous.
He's a storybook kind of player because, again, he was born in Montreal. His dad was playing for the Expos at the time. Yep. As a kid, he'd run around the Olympic Stadium in uniform. We've all seen the pictures and the videos. But the Blue Jays, for a period of years, played exhibition games at the end of spring training in Montreal.
Okay.
I was able to broadcast a pair of those back in 2016 when the Red Sox went up there. It was awesome. It was great.
Sure.
But in 2019 or whatever, it was going to be the last exhibition game there because they had to go through a long rehab process with the stadium. So they weren't going to play games there. So Vlad was still in the minor leagues, but he was brought up to play in this game.
Okay.
he hits a walk-off home run for the Blue Jays
Great.
to close it out, right? To close
That's
out
awesome.
Olympic Stadium and the,
Wow.
the Blue Jays playing there. So, I mean, the guy's had, little storybook stuff going on. I hope he has more storybook stuff in the future, just not this week.
Yeah, exactly. How about that swing? The follow through on that swing looks just like his dad.
Yeah. The one thing about his dad, and you remember this,
Oh, yeah.
is Vlad Jr.'s strike zone is a little smaller than Vlad Sr.'s.
Yes, it is.
Vlad Sr. didn't have a strike zone. If the ball was advanced somewhere toward the plate and he thought he might hit it, he's going to swing.
He had a little Clemente in him.
Yeah, he would swing at anything he thought he could hit. And
That's true.
And that was you never knew with him. I
Yep.
mean, he might swing at a pitch up here. He might swing at a pitch way outside. He might swing at a pitch at his shoe tops, and he might hit it 400 feet.
Yes.
But his dad was sensational. But Vlad Jr.'s strike zone is a little bit more picky than his dad's.
Yes, it is. Let's talk about the rosters itself. And obviously, Alex Vesia is not there. We'll talk about him in a minute. But any other surprises at all that maybe you thought like a possible Michael Conforto thing, although I didn't see it coming, but some people were saying maybe.
I think if there's any discussion about Conforto, it's the fact that the Blue Jays are very right-handed in pitching.
Okay.
They don't have a left-handed starter. They have two lefties in the bullpen, and that's it. So they would say, well, if they're a right-handed staff, let's get another left-handed hitter in there. That might have been the only conversation. But
Okay.
I think you have to stick with what you have there. You've got to keep Justin Dean as a pinch runner and as a defensive replacement. So I would expect to see him the same thing.
Right.
Alex Call from the right side, he gives you some different things.
Right.
Tommy Edman can play out there. Hassan Kim can play out there if you need him to, and so can Kike Hernandez. So
yeah, you're really covered all over the place.
I think you're covered everywhere you need to be out there. If you need a left-handed hitter, you could throw up Kim. You could put him out there. Tommy Edman hits from both sides. So I think you have that end of things covered. Not surprised with the catching situation with Ben Rortvedt, because I think he earned his spot when he joined the big league club. He came up and he was really dynamite, especially defensively. So I think he's more ready, more big league ready at this point than Dalton Rushing in that particular role. So I think as far as it's pretty much the same roster with the exception of adding Will Klein, and that was necessary. With Alex Vesia not being available.
Right.
We don't know the situation. We know it's personal. We're told we'll be told when we're told about that.
Here's the announcement that they came this morning.
Yeah, there's the announcement. Now, we know Kayla was pregnant, and they were pretty far along. So you can draw whatever conclusions you want there, but we don't know. Those aren't facts.
And it's also none of our business.
Right.
If it's that personal, it's like, hey, he's not playing baseball this week. What are you going to do? Bad timing.
When the Vesia family is ready to let people know about it, they will.
Exactly.
From the personal side of it, obviously everybody wishes them the best and wishes them well.
Right.
And but from now the baseball side of it, that's upon us right now. The Dodgers now have to try to navigate around not having him, because he'd been one of the most trustworthy relievers they've had out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
I thought that Tanner Scott might be ready to go. And there you go. You got a pretty strong left-handed guy, but Tanner had a rough season.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I mean, he'll be the first to tell you he had a rough season.
I think it's all trust factor right now.
Yeah. And Will Klein, the one thing about Will Klein is that when he pitched in short spurts, he was very good in one-inning outings.
Okay.
He's a strikeout guy, 100-mile-an-hour guy, right? Right-handed guy, but he's a guy that can come in and punch out a couple of guys.
Sure.
And I think that's what they're thinking about. He had his auditions, if you will, a few different times with the Dodgers this season, going up and down. But using him in a short spurt would not hurt. Jack Dreyer is another guy who I think during the course of the season was trustworthy. Toward the end of the season, he started to wear down a little bit, but he's had plenty of rest. And he's a guy that you might see in a situation where you need a lefty. And then don't forget, there's a guy in that bullpen with over 3,000 strikeouts. and he's going to the Hall of Fame, and that's Clayton Kershaw. I don't know how he's going to be used. They didn't use him during the Brewers series, right? You can't really. I mean, it's hard to just use them as a for old time's sake appearance, right?
You can't do that now.
You gotta do what you have to
and
do.
even spot use him. In my mind, I think he looks like, okay, you need somebody to fill a couple of innings. He's a good one to throw in there, not just to get somebody out necessarily, unless the circumstances, it's lefty and it's just perfect. But you never know when he's ready, right, out of the bullpen.
Right, and he's rested. Like, for example, let's say it's the clinching game.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say it's game 5. Let's be optimistic. Let's say it's game 5, and the Dodgers are up 7-1.
Right.
6-1, 7-1 at Dodger Stadium.
Let him pitch an inning, right?
You're one of the 55,000 plus folks in there, and you see number 22 get up in the bullpen. Yeah. What are you thinking, right? Yeah. I mean, he might have a chance to close out a World Series. That would be the ending chapter to a magical career. But we don't know if that's ever going to be the case. Of course. But you've got to win the games in front of you the way that you've been winning them in this postseason. You're 9-1 in the postseason right now. 9-1.
Exactly.
So whatever you've done for those 9 games, keep doing it. If you get a chance, if you get an opportunity to get Kershaw in there without risking losing a game or losing a World Series, maybe they give it a thought. Maybe it becomes a thought as the series moves along. But that can't be the motivation in this series. It's got to be 27 outs, win 4 games, have a break.
Exactly. Okay, and with Vesey out, you still have 4 left-handers coming out of the bullpen. So it's just a matter of where you want to use them.
Right. I mean, Anthony Banda is going to get use, no doubt about that.
Yep.
He is high on the trust tree, I would believe. So Banda might slide into that Vesey role.
Yeah.
You might see him do that. But Banda is certainly going to be used. There's no doubt about that. And the one thing that we're hoping, that the Dodgers hope, that everybody hopes, is we see a repeat of what we saw against the Brewers from Blake Snell and Yamamoto, seeing these starters go deep.
Yeah.
This is baseball. Crazy things happen. You never know, right? And the other thing you got to remember, is the Blue Jays are one of the better contact teams in baseball.
Okay.
Meaning they're interested in making contact. They're not interested in Earl Weaver baseball, playing for the 3-run home run. Okay. They're not going to do that, but they're interested in contact. And so, sometimes contact can go the opposite way, can go the opposite field. It can, you never know. Sometimes, you might see a guy like Dalton Varsho come up and just stick his bat out there and it falls over the shortstop's head.
Right.
You might see some hits like that out of the Blue Jays. This is a different animal than the Brewers.
Yeah,
Brewers
but don't they have like an over 290 batting average as a club? Like the best one out there, right?
Yeah, yeah. And in the postseason, was it 2? I had those numbers here earlier, but whatever the thing is, the Dodgers are hitting far, far lower. In fact, I can tell you what that is here. Where'd it go? Toronto's hitting 296 this postseason.
Right.
And the other 11 playoff teams, 218 combined.
Exactly. I mean, that's insane. So right there, that gives the the Jays more than a puncher's chance.
Right. But keep in mind, the Dodgers rotation through 10 games in the postseason has an ERA of 140.
I know, it's crazy.
They've let's see what else. That's the lowest. That would be the lowest in a single postseason all time.
Yep, absolutely.
So something's got to give. They're going to get on the field. All the talk is going to stop because the Dodgers have been off for 6 days plus. We're ready to get playing. It's time to throw that first pitch. And Trey Savage, a guy who started in A-ball this year, worked his way to Double-A. He pitched in Manchester, New Hampshire in Double-A, place you know.
Yep.
And he's going to start. So, I mean, he started in April in Low A.
There's your timeline. I mean, it's crazy.
He was
and for a game
Florida.
1 too, though.
What's that?
I say for a game 1, is that a little strange to you or no?
Yeah, it is. It is. This is the biggest stage, obviously, he's ever been on.
He's never going to be on a bigger one.
No, I mean, he's into it, right? I mean, it's going to be like the second youngest game 1 starter ever.
Yeah.
So, you start in Dunedin, right? Okay,
That's a
that's
vacation.
low A. Have you ever seen a low A game? Ever been
No,
up at Rancho Cucamonga?
no.
As great as the Dodger organization is, still a low A game. You see guys throwing balls away. You see balls
Oh yeah,
misplayed.
sure.
You see all kinds of mistakes being
The
made.
bad
That's
news
why it's
bears.
low A. And then he goes to high A the next month. Then he spends 2 months in Manchester in Double A,
Yeah,
figuring, at that point you got to figure, hey, this is where I'm going to be this year,
yeah.
right? He's lucky to go from low A to under the lights in Double A, right? Playing in the Eastern League.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story.
It's an amazing story. And
Whatever he does, though, right?
Yeah. The other guy that I know that started game one of a World Series kind of unexpectedly was my partner in Pittsburgh when I was with the Pirates, Bob Walk.
Okay, yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he started game one of the 1980 World Series when he was with the Philadelphia Phillies. And the reason was they were playing the Astros, I believe, in the NLCS.
Yeah.
And went to a game 7, and they had to use their game one, the guy who was going to be the game 1 starter in game 7. And that left Bob, who was a rookie at the time. He's like, oh, and you get the ball, game 1, here you go. And he won.
Must have had great stories about that, huh?
Yeah, and he got the win. So
that's great. That's awesome. Yeah. Did he ever tell you about how nervous he really was?
No, but he got to the point of saying that he probably needed to. That was between him and the laundryman, how nervous he was.
Okay,
so,
I got it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the Jays roster, and they've added Mr. Bo Bichette. Not a shock, but he hasn't played in how many weeks?
Yeah, the thing is, it's hard to replicate timing. So
welcome to spring training in the World Series.
Yeah, my guess is he's been working on the high velocity machine in the cage. They've probably been throwing 100 plus at him, just to get him used to the velocity and get his timing down on the fastball. So you got to get the front foot down. You see where that picture there is a good picture of him as he's getting ready to hit, because he does, with his timing mechanism is his front foot. And when you watch it tonight, it'll go up and he'll swing late on a Blake Snell pitch. He'll also swing off time on a Blake Snell changeup, because Snell's changeup is one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
So it's not just the fastball that he's got to gear up for. He's going to have to gear up for the change and the curveball of Blake Snell, which when he throws it, even if you recognize it out of the hand, the speed and the spin are the things that you have to calculate in your head in a split second. So that's why Snell's so hard to hit. But then he also can throw that rising fastball and just get you punched out and make you look bad. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Bichette. He's going to be in there play second base tonight.
Here's the lineup.
Yeah, he's going to hit cleanup. So a guy you haven't had in the lineup in months, you're going to have him hitting cleanup. Maybe he's going to be fine. We'll see. And that means that Springer can stay at the DH spot. Springer's still got that sore knee.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was some thought that they would have Bichette DH and have Springer go back in the field, but this way here they can keep Springer as the DH.
And the Dodgers lineup is out as well. And Mr. Snell is just saying, give me a 1 or 2 runs, guys. That's all I need.
Yeah, but he'd like more, like any other pitcher. But yeah, if they get 1 run, they'll come in the dugout and they'll go, "There's your run, Blake. Go out and get him."
Yeah, good luck.
But
it's like Drysdale and Koufax days.
Yeah, exactly. But with this lineup, pushing Freeman back to third against a right-handed starter.
Yeah.
You're not going to see what the Brewers did with a bullpen game and bringing out Ashby twice in a series to start a game from the left side. Then that moved Freeman back a spot. So, I love this lineup because it's so long. Remember, for most of the season, Andy Pages was hitting in the middle of the order, right?
Yeah.
He's hitting 9th in this order.
Okay.
That's how deep this batting order is now.
Okay.
And, your number 9 hitter has a lot of pop. He's the second. Yeah. What is he? The second? He and Teoscar. I'm not looking at the numbers, but I think at one point at the end of the season, Pages was second in homers behind Ohtani.
Interesting.
And this guy's your number 9 hitter. So,
but speaking of pop, by the way, you were there with the Ohtani 3 homers, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember how loud the long one was?
Oh, it's crazy, the sound it makes.
Yeah. Because, I compare it. I was there for the Jack Clark home run against Tom Niedenfuer back in whatever it was, 89. I can't remember anymore. But that's the loudest I've ever heard a ball hit. And it was out of the ballpark. It was a line drive, but it was out of the park in about 2 seconds. It was ridiculous. And I'm just thinking, how loud was this to your ears?
Well, because of the crowd and everything, it wasn't like it was in Miami last year when he had the 50-50 game.
Yeah.
Because the place wasn't full, you could hear a lot more.
Okay.
Right. We have what's called effects mics that are used on television and radio, and you can hear the pop of the glove and everything else.
Yeah.
When Ohtani got up for the first time in that game, he hit a bullet to the wall in right center field.
Yeah.
It was a double. He tried to stretch it for a triple. He got thrown out. That ball sounded as loud as anything I've ever heard. And it was just a missile that was, about 3/4 of the wall high the whole way. It was the epitome of a frozen rope. We'll talk about the home runs. He's got some doubles that need to be talked about too, because it's just been incredible. Like the triple he hit the other day.
Yeah.
That was just, he stuck his bat out. And it just flicked it to right field. I mean, it was an outside pitch. He just flicked it that way. But when he really gets around on one and makes, solid contact,
I feel sorry for the ball.
I mean, I've heard him make such, gosh. I mean, I think from that game alone, I've heard such loud contact. We go on the road and he gets into one, and you just know instantly by the sound, by the trajectory of the swing, by the way he steps, his first step, you can tell he got it. Like as a hitter, because you feel nothing in here.
Yeah.
When you square it up, you feel nothing in your hands.
Exactly.
And that's when you got it. And you can tell when he feels that way. First step, he straightens up and he looks up, and you know it, and starts to flip the bat and see you later.
My favorite thing about this picture is the guy over his left shoulder. Look at his mouth open. This is the bomb that he hit. And I saw that. I said, I got to do a screenshot of that baby. That's classic. Like you got to be like they're looking for Superman or something.
Well, they're seeing something that they probably have never seen before.
Of course.
And Ohtani, in just 2 years with the Dodgers, has provided a lot of those moments that people have just never seen before. That's why people pay money to go to Dodger Stadium. They want to see him, right? They want to see what's in the center ring of this circus. That's Dodger baseball, and he's the star attraction. He's unbelievable, and you don't know what you're going to see any given day when you go to the ballpark, right? You don't know, but when he's in a ball game, he's in the lineup, there's a chance you're going to see something.
Yeah, you're going to be telling your grandkids forever about being a part of that baby, right?
And I'll tell you what, last year, remember all the hubbub of him signing with the Dodgers and not signing with Toronto? And everybody was following this airplane tracker that left from Southern California. And
there was a Japanese restaurant with a big a table set up, but it turned out it was like for some corporate guy
else. And the TV guy from the whatever that show is gets off the plane in Toronto, and all the press is there waiting to see Ohtani, and they figure he's coming to the Blue Jays. So we go there to play last year.
Yeah, they booed the hell out of him, right?
He steps to the plate to start the game.
First game
there. They are booing. It's his first at bat. There hasn't been a pitch thrown in the game yet. That place is booing him like crazy. I don't off the top of my head remember what pitch it was. If I was writing a script, it would have been the first one. But his first at bat, he hits it out, and he hits.
I don't remember that at all.
He hits a monster bomb, and Rick Monday and I are looking at each other going, "You got to be kidding me!"
That's crazy.
I mean, it was incredible. Of course, Rick does his famous reach back for the Daniels Jewelers promo to get it from Dwayne McDonald,
right?
But it was amazing. His first plate appearance against the Blue Jays, who booed him from here to the west coast of Canada. And then he hits a bomb in his first at bat. It was just an incredible moment. Another incredible moment from that.
Yeah, exactly. One of who knows how many hundreds.
Yeah.
What about the entire country of Canada rooting against the Dodgers here in a totally different way? You could throw the Ohtani factor in there too, but just the fact and what's going on in politics and everything. I mean, that makes it even more fun, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of the us against the world mentality.
Yeah,
I guess you have to have. It's different. It's different there.
then it certainly is.
It's different because they're Canada's team. Every time they have a television broadcast, radio broadcast, it's not just in the Toronto market, which is a big market, by the way. It's a very sizable market. But it's all across the country. It's nationwide. Everything they do, that's their national team. Now they have no more Expos, right? Yeah. Even in the Pacific Coast League back in the day, they had teams in Vancouver and Calgary and Edmonton. And I used to go up there when I was in the PCL with Las Vegas. And but they don't even have that up there anymore. They just have independent ball out west, like in Winnipeg and a couple other places, I guess. So there's no Major League Baseball up there other than the Blue Jays. So everybody loves the Jays. Everybody follows the Jays. Everybody watches the Jays. So this is a little bit different where you have an entire country rooting against you, for more than just politics. But it's going to be a wild atmosphere, no doubt. I mean, just outside the stadium and just, there's a whole area. There's an area called King Street up there that has tons of bars and restaurants. And I just can't imagine all of the festivities going on. There's watch parties outside. They put big screens up in different parts of town, and they're having outdoor watch parties. This is going to be a huge, huge event in Canada. And the Dodgers are up there to spoil the party. That's their mission. And they've got the right guys, I think. I mean, the guys in that lineup, they're unfazed by things. They really are. I mean, they go to Philadelphia and they get booed and screamed at, like, Philly fans they can boo with the best of them. And they might be the best at it.
Exactly. Well, I still think the last few years of experience and success is going to overcome a lot of that.
Yeah. And they knew heading into this season, after winning the world title, that the bullseye was going to be on their back. And every place they went, every team was going to give them their absolute best shot every time. Mookie Betts had the quote in spring training. A lot of teams didn't like it, but he was honest, and I agree with him. He said, when we come to town, it's going to be a lot of teams game sevens.
Oh, interesting.
And he wasn't wrong. And just seeing how the season played out, some teams that had no business, even being on the same field with them, would beat them or would give them a game or would try to come back. But that's baseball. And that's the great thing about the game, is anything can happen.
One more quick thing about the whole Canadian thing. Are you aware at all, do the Montreal baseball fans, and they have a long history of ball there, including Jackie Robinson and even Tommy Lasorda playing there. But I'm curious, do they give a damn about the Jays? Or just because they're Canada? Because it's Toronto, Montreal. They don't care about anything else in Toronto.
I was watching some clips from the news this morning, and I think it was KTLA had a reporter on the street, and they had a guy in Expos jacket, Expos hat, and he's running around. He's going, "We're going to kill the Dodgers."
Oh, I love that.
And it doesn't just mean yes in Montreal.
I know that's true.
In French, it means we together. So, yes, they do care about baseball still. There's still a lot of fans there that are hoping they can get an expansion team. I don't know that they will. I would love to see it. Love to see baseball back in Montreal. It's a wonderful city.
Yeah, I love it.
And a wonderful sports city, too.
Yep.
But I think that, Netflix has the documentary that's out right now on Who Killed the Expos, which is worth a look. And I haven't seen it yet, but I'm planning on watching it very soon. And it wasn't Rick Monday in 1981. He's not solely responsible.
Well, he killed him for that season.
For that game and that season he did, but he didn't kill the franchise. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, the people, I think generally the folks in the province of Quebec, especially in Montreal, they like the Jays because they've got the maple leaf on it. They're Canada's team. They don't have one, and that's why the Jays would go over to Montreal and play exhibitions.
No, it makes sense.
So it's good. I mean, the story is great. The fan following the Blue Jays have is great. And if the Blue Jays ever say, "Oh, we're a small market team," somebody get out.
There's nothing small market about.
Somebody get out the lie detector, because they're actually they're probably the biggest market in all of baseball.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we can come up with an encyclopedia size amount of numbers and analytics, but to me, the most important by far are the ones on the screen right now, and that's the Dodgers staff against everybody in the postseason. those are Bob Gibson 1968 numbers.
Right. That's the starters and the relievers combined.
Yeah.
I mean, the walks and hits per innings pitched, the whip,
yeah,
a little, just barely at 1, is something to think about. The strikeout to walk ratio is pretty impressive. I think you'd like to see fewer walks. Everybody would.
Sure.
But still, 104 to 38, you take that.
Yeah.
And the opposition average at 173 is impressive too. And I think when you look at the starters, what was it? I think I had
the starters ERA is under. Is it for the whole playoffs? I know against the Phillies it was under 1, right?
Yeah, it's under. Yeah.
I don't know what it was for the whole playoff,
but I can't find it. But
that's all right.
Opponent with Blake Snell.
Well, I have Blake Snell here, right here. Here's Blake Snell's numbers.
Yeah. What, 5-0? Well, yeah. So
3 starts.
115 against him in his last 5 starts. His last 5 starts, you go back a couple more, he's 5-0 with an 0.68 ERA.
You're talking about the end of the season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Combined with the postseason.
Boy, is he on a roll.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So 56 strikeouts in that span too, over 5 games. So was that, more than 10 strikeouts a game? That's really good.
Yeah, it's not bad, but just the fact that he is in such command of his pitches right now. I mean, there's a lot of guys that they miss. I mean, he's not throwing it 100, but he's certainly throwing it enough. And to hit all the spots, and the change of pace is just destroying batters. They're doing the old jelly leg in there at times.
Yeah, he needs to be Snellzilla again one more time. Just if he can put everything into this one tonight, I think he'd help to shorten the series. And that's you can't walk in there with an attitude, hey, we're the world champs, we're just going to walk in here and win.
Yeah.
You have to respect the opponent because they're trying to do the same thing you are. And you can't just say, hey, we got Blake Snell, we're going to win. No, you got to play the game. You got to play the game. Those guys are pros too. They practice too, Ted. So
I heard a rumor.
Yeah, they're pretty good players over there. So I just really believe that, the Dodgers have the weapons. Now they have to be deployed effectively one more time.
Yeah. And I love the side story too. Our old friend Donnie Mattingly is finally getting a chance to go to the World Series. It's unbelievable. 35 years or something in the game. And he's 64 years old, and here he is, baby. He's wearing his Jays hat.
As good as he was with the Yankees, he was with the Yankees at a tough time.
Oh, no doubt.
They didn't win as much, or didn't win much at all. Gosh, I remember when ESPN first came on, they needed programming.
Yeah.
Right? They needed a lot of programming. And I think there was something going on where they were carrying AAA baseball from the International League.
Yeah.
And the Columbus Clippers, it's my first exposure to the Columbus Clippers, who were then the farm club of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm watching on television, I'm looking at this third baseman, and I'm like, there's something wrong with my television because he's got his glove on the wrong hand.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was Mattingly playing third base.
What the hell was he doing there?
I don't know, but they ran him out there for a game, and it happened to be on.
Oh, I wish I know that. I would have asked him about that
in the early days.
Yeah,
I swear it was him in a left-handed third baseman. It might have been for a couple of innings, and I don't remember. I was young. I don't remember the scenario or why he was doing that, but I started staring at him, going, "Are you kidding?" and then when I was in AA, we had a guy who was in the big leagues at one point, but he came down and caught, who was left-handed. He's the last left-handed catcher in the big leagues, Benny DiStefano of the Pirates.
Okay.
But to see a left-handed catcher was just weird, man. It was just
that
awful.
is weird.
But to see Mattingly, and I swear I saw this, I might be crazy, but he was lined up at third base, and the screen wasn't flipped around backwards. It was literally third base.
Wow.
So
unbelievable. Well,
yeah,
Donnie's just a fantastic guy, and I'm just I texted him a few days ago just to congratulate him, and he's the kind of person that if you can't root for him, whatever team he's on, just to be there, yes, but I'd love to see him get a ring. Now, of course, there's a little bias on this side of the world at this point, but either way, that would be a nice story too.
Well, I mean, an American League Championship Series ring would be fine. I think that'd be great.
Well, I think he's going to get one of those. I don't know. Do they give rings for that, or just
if
a
you win
standing
the
ovation?
no, usually you do if you win the
You
pennant.
do? Okay. I forgot about that. It's been a long time since I had any
I know
part
the
of
Dodgers
rings.
gave him out in 2017 and 18.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. There's another guy that used to play for both of these teams, and he loves being a part of this. Sean Green, right?
Sean Green, yeah, he
a Jay
contributed.
and a Dodger.
Yeah, he contributed a lot, no doubt.
Yep.
And with Sean, I mean, this guy was a legit hitter.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this
With
guy,
a lot of power.
he could rake. He could absolutely rake. And it took Shohei Ohtani to break the single season home run record that Sean Green set.
Yep.
Now the all-time home run leader is still Eric Karros, by the way. In Dodger history, right?
Yeah.
That
is crazy when you think
everything.
about it. I mean, I love Eric, but I don't think of him as the
too.
greatest home run hitter.
You don't think of that. You think of him as an Iron Man first baseman. He played
Exactly.
every day, right?
And a former UCLA Bruin.
Right. But keep in mind, he has more home runs than anybody else in Dodger history.
That is wild.
And I think he hears the footsteps.
Oh, yeah.
You got a couple.
That could be broken at any minute now.
Yeah. You got number 17 crawling up behind him pretty fast. So
and Teoscar is another guy. Of course, he had a great few seasons with Toronto, and now he's a Dodger. I guess there was rumors he might go back there last year, right?
Well, there were rumors he could go a number of places. Because,
but to go back there specifically,
right, and he would have been a good fit there.
Yeah.
I know when he was there as a younger player, he liked it there. They really liked him. He loves the ballpark, loves the city. It would have been a nice situation for him. He felt the same way in Seattle too.
Yeah,
when he was with the Mariners, but it didn't work. He got talked to by the Dodgers, and they said, come back. We'll try to run this back. And so he decided that was going to be what he was going to do. And I'll tell you what, you watch Teoscar day in and day out, and you just wait for that big hit because it's coming.
Absolutely. He's so clutch.
It's coming. He
looks like the kind of guy who might strike out like 10 times in 5 days, and then when you need him, boom, he crushes one.
Well, I described him the other day to somebody else. I described him as he's got a love-hate relationship with the baseball when he's at the plate. It's a nice way of saying that he strikes out sometimes. So if you've got a right-handed pitcher out, and this is the thing with this series with Toronto that you got to watch for. Okay,
right.
Right-handed pitchers are going to spin to win. Okay, they're going to spin the ball on him all the time, especially with two strikes. You watch. Yeah. It'll be slider. It'll be sweeper. They're going to try to get him to expand the zone. If he can hold on and use that plate discipline that he's got, and he does display on from time to time, and not chase that spinning pitch, again, you're going to see it. Trust me. Tonight, you will see that from a right-handed pitcher. Okay. And you'll go, yeah, that guy in the hoodie told you so. But that's just from watching him play for the last 2 years. That's how they pitch to him. If they decide they're going to throw one anywhere remotely down the middle, he might hit it 450 feet. And he's had some clutch hits, and he's had a good postseason in terms of hitting the ball a long way.
And he's a good oppo hitter too.
Yeah,
boy,
he can go the other way.
He hits more home runs to right and from center to right, doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's the thing with right-handed hitters. If you go after that pitch on the outer half, sometimes you're gonna barrel it, and if you barrel it, it might not look like you got it right away, but
you get an extra split second, right? That split second helps
and carry.
Yep.
So that's what you want. And the right-handed hitters, off like a right-handed pitcher throwing away, if you hit it that way, that's going to create backspin, and that ball's going to go. It'll carry longer. Topspin, the ball goes like this, right? Backspin, it goes this way.
Yeah. So, but of course, with his immense power, when he does get a hold of it, a lot of guys might do that, but you don't know, like, is it going to get out with him? He pretty much knows it's going when he hits it.
Yeah. The opposite side of the coin, we've seen Ohtani do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good point. With
chasing the spin from lefties.
Yep. Good point.
Now, the fact that Toronto only has two lefties, they've got to really use them sparingly if they're going to match up with him.
Yep.
Okay. And then if it doesn't work with him, two batters later, you got Freddie Freeman. So that's going to be difficult matching up for the Blue Jays in this series. But we've seen Ohtani, especially late in the season, we saw him chasing a bunch, but because he's getting, they're spinning it. They're spinning it outside. They're trying to get him to chase. They're trying to throw strikes without actually throwing a strike. And that's what they do against power hitters like that. They try to get you to expand the zone, make you use more than 17 inches, and get yourself out. And we've seen Ohtani do that from time to time. But you know what? You don't worry about it because he's won it back closer to hitting a ball 469 feet off the roof.
Let's go one more time on the Jays roster. I want to get your thoughts on their bullpen and how you see that being it's always going to be a factor in any series, but specifically this.
Yeah, I mean, they want to get it to Hoffman at the end. You know, Sir Anthony Dominguez, seen him with other clubs, including Philadelphia. You know, he's pretty solid. But in this series, you know, you're going to see guys that have pitched significant innings, like, you know, Chris Bassett.
Yeah.
And we saw Shane Bieber coming out of the bullpen the other day. You know, you'll see those guys. We saw Kevin Gausman coming out of the bullpen. He's going to be the game 2 starter.
Yeah.
But the reason he came out of the bullpen is schedule-wise, that would have been his throw day anyway. So you'll see that happen as the season goes, or the postseason goes along sometimes, where you might have a starter on a day he would throw a bullpen, like his real bullpen. They might put him out in the bullpen. If they don't use him, he'll throw after the game. So,
okay,
you know, we've seen that. I've even seen guys throw during the game where, you know, you're like on TV or on radio and you're like, oh, why is that guy warming up in the bullpen? And then it dawns on you, oh, it's his throw day. And they were holding him back just in case. They realized they weren't going to use him. So they throw him anyway.
Are they doing similar there to what the Dodgers had to do mid-season when you're sort of fiddling around? We got to use this guy. We got this injured guy. Are they doing it now in the World Series, or is this just the way they do it there?
I think it's just the way they do it there. I think analytics have a lot to do with it. Again, they're trying to create matchups if they can. If they can.
Yeah, against this lineup, good luck.
Yeah, it's a tough lineup to match up against. It is. You know, their lineup's not too shabby either.
No, not at all.
You know, because they play in Toronto, we don't see them very much. A lot of the Dodger fans are like, who are these guys? Those guys are pretty good.
Yes, they're very good.
Those guys are pretty good players. But I think that the bullpen, you know, they're going to have to come in with their 100-mile-an-hour right-handed guys and, again, try to get the Dodgers to get themselves out. Because keep in mind, as a hitter in baseball, if you hit 300, right, that means 70% of the time you're out. And you've hit 300, you've had a great year.
Yes.
So, you know, young pitchers ought to know this too. And a lot of them don't because they want to throw it through a brick wall. But, you know, 70% of the time a hitter's going to get himself out. So, exactly. You know, you don't have any
deal with it,
hitters.
baby.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one of the fun facts I like bringing up every year as we wind down the show are the ticket prices. All right. And they're always unbelievably outrageous. I saw this a couple of days ago. Just so I'd throw this up for the fans to take a look at. And let's just say it's a little bit more than the old days. And here's a picture of the first 3 World Series at Dodger Stadium. These are my tickets. If you could, can you see the prices on those tickets?
$8 for game 3.
$8, baby. It was all out. And they raised the prices to 12. I think my dad was totally pissed.
63. Who was that? Was that against Minnesota?
That was the Yankees.
Those Yankees.
That was the sweep. That's game 3. That's the game 3 is the first game, World Series game in Dodger Stadium history. And my dad said, Ted, you got to go because your guy Don Drysdale's pitching, and he shut out the Yanks 1-0.
Wow, you had good seats too.
Yeah, they were okay. Not bad. They were upstairs.
Reserved, green level. All right.
Yeah, right above where you sit.
Yeah. That's where all the foul balls go.
I think the middle one there, that the 65 is the Twins. Yeah. That's the load section, but that's way down the line. 158.
158 would be down left field.
Yeah, I was staring at the foul pole.
But your seats in 1966 were a little bit better.
Yeah, but again, down the line.
Yeah, and they were still $12.
Exactly.
Yeah,
$12 for the lower level. I think it's a ripoff. It should have been $11.50.
Well, I thought you were gonna show me the tickets for tonight and then figure in the exchange rate.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know what the hell that would be, but we're talking a minimum of it looks like about 900 that were available as of a couple of days ago that you could buy online. I don't know what the face value is.
Yeah, I swear I've had people that I haven't heard from in a while calling me or texting me, hey, can you get me World Series tickets?
Yeah, sure. And preferably right behind home plate.
Where you want to make the lineup? What do you want to do? I mean, you want to sit in the dugout? Where do you want to? You want to play center field? I'll get you whatever you want. No, I can't get you World Series tickets. So yeah, but it's glad they think of me, but I'm not the ticket broker. And plus, with these prices, it's hard to get them anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's the thing is, it's in such great demand. And I think it also is a testament to the shape that baseball is in, especially Dodger baseball business-wise. It wouldn't be this price if there wasn't a demand for it. So
true.
The TV ratings are going to be good again. They're going to be tremendous in Japan. We know that. They're going to be really good in the U.S. They're going to be really good in Canada. So a lot of eyeballs on this series. In game one, there's just so much anxiety. There's got all the pregame hype that happens tonight. I think it's Cito Gaston's going to throw out the first pitch tonight.
Oh,
they
nice.
got Joe Carter tomorrow.
Yep.
I don't remember who the musical act is or who the I don't know who it's going to be. I don't think anybody.
Super Bowl.
It's gonna take a lot to beat Ice-T's entrance from last year, though.
Yes,
that was pretty good. You have an entrance in the World Series and you get a bobblehead for it the next year.
Yes, exactly.
So, but there's a lot of pomp and circumstance tonight, and then finally, when that's over, then they can get going.
Well, we're only about 90 minutes away from the first pitch. Minus 230. This is for all the NBA players watching here who want to know what odds are going on. Where did I pick that one up from? Anyway, minus 230 in some spots. I mean, that's getting up there. That's a pretty heavy-duty favorite are the Dodgers, and now they just have to live up to it.
Yeah, that means what they call those people in Vegas are the sharps, right?
Of course.
The sharps. These are the people who are the good, I guess, the good handicappers, the successful ones who've done it for a long time, who've won a lot. And you can see where the dollars and cents are headed in the Dodger direction. That's why that number keeps going up to 230.
Exactly.
But it's, I think a lot of people think it's going to be a game one win. It's tough, though. A stat I saw yesterday, not to throw water on anything, but when one team in one LCS sweeps and the other team goes to 7 games, and this is in the wild card era, it's happened 4 times.
Right.
The team that's gone to 7 games has won the World Series all 4 times.
Oh, interesting. Good.
The team that swept lost.
Yep.
So
very interesting. Well, I was going to ask you. That's my last subject I wanted to bring up.
Records are made to be broken.
Yes, but a week between games is a long time. I don't give a damn what you're doing all week. It's not the same thing. Yes, the starters are rested, and that's wonderful. Yes, the little bruises are hopefully healing up, whatever you might have. But this isn't football. I think I'm going to be interested to see how the Dodgers come out because you don't snap your fingers and we're back.
Well, you got to replicate. Last year they did it during the break between the regular season and the division series.
Yep.
This year's a little bit longer break, but they were successful in what they did. They bring some guys in from the minor leagues or from stay hot camp, what they call it in Arizona.
Yeah.
So they bring guys in, and they have some of the guys here who need to pitch for real on their throw days.
Right.
They have them pitch. They have them simulate innings. They have them simulate. It's it's hard to replicate the speed of the game and the intensity of the game and things like that, and situations and anticipating situations.
And the intensity from a starter's standpoint, too.
Right, exactly.
There's no way it could be even close.
No. So
it's more like batting practice otherwise.
Yeah. Again, we'll see tonight. It should be, I think it'll be evident in the first 2 innings tonight. If the Dodgers will shake off the rust or if they're going to show no rust. Sometimes in a lot of games this year, when the bats haven't been going so well, if Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman would go down 1, 2, 3 in the first inning, it wasn't going to be that. It was going to be a tougher game.
Yeah.
But you want to see what they can do in the first, then see what the guys do in the second. And again, they're facing a guy they haven't faced before. I think that's one of the things, the unfamiliarity with Savage.
Almost anybody hasn't faced him.
I mean, it's a
Who
great
is this
story.
guy?
It's a great story. No,
I love it.
I
Game
love
1
it
of the
too.
World Series. You got to be kidding.
Yeah, no.
Come on, people.
This is the biggest cliche of all sports. It doesn't get any bigger than this, right?
It doesn't.
Except for the next game, it does. But no, I think that this is going to be a wild series. It should be great. I'm hoping that there's another parade down Grand Avenue again. I mean, I think that, everybody's buckled in, ready to go. And I think that this is a great roster to be in this situation for the Dodgers.
Yeah, and they're in a good spot really for the next few years too, if you think about it.
They are.
I mean, there's no excuse not to be as competitive as anybody for quite a while from a baseball standpoint.
Yeah, and I don't mean to throw out hyperbole here, but I mean,
but you're going to.
I'm going to. But right now, and what we might see for the next few years is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Yeah.
Right. You look at the history of it from Brooklyn. They were the bums. They were the guys that was opening day. We'll get them next year, and then they went to a World Series and lost. They finally win one. They come out here. They win one the first year out here. So it's 55, and then 59, and
63,
65, 66. They go to the series. Then there's a long drought. They don't go 88 to
very long drought.
Yeah. So 88 and then 20 were between wins, but they had been to some and lost. Yeah. But we are, even the ones that they went to, you have to count that as part of the golden age because they won a National League pennant. And how many divisions have they won? And how many times have they gone to the postseason in a row now? 13 straight years. That's a club record. So we are witnessing the best era, the very best era of Dodger baseball, whether it's Brooklyn or LA.
Yeah, if there's such thing as spoiled fans, this last 15 years, that's as spoiled as you're ever going to get. This doesn't happen in baseball.
It doesn't happen in other markets. No, it doesn't happen everywhere else.
Yep.
The Dodgers
enjoy it, folks.
Yeah, the ownership is committed to win. They're in it to win it every year. They're in on every free agent. They're everybody who's big, they're attached to them some way, shape, or form in the offseason. They are trying to win every year. And there are a lot of fan bases who can't say that about their teams around Major League Baseball. So I laugh. I had somebody in a radio interview today ask me, so, wasn't Dave Roberts on the hot seat there last year for a while? I'm like, no, it wasn't even a warm seat. I mean, that doesn't even come up around LA. Certainly not internally. I mean, that's why
the fans always, every time something screws up, get rid of Dave Roberts. That happens all the time. But who cares?
You lose a game. Oh, get rid of him. Exactly. The relief pitcher he brings in gives up the lead. Well, that's the manager's fault? No, that's the pitcher's fault. But look where they are. They're in the World Series again, and he's been the best and most consistent manager over the last several years in Major League Baseball.
He's got one of the great records in the history of the game now.
And I'll say one other thing.
Yes.
If they win the World Series this year, I think that might cement his legacy as a Hall of Fame manager. Nobody's talking about that. But how many World Series has he been to already?
Yep.
Never mind one.
Well, they've been in 5 of the last 9. Yeah. Those are all his, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, come on, 5 out of 9.
Yeah,
you'd like to have 5 in 30 years.
Yeah. So if they win now, and then who knows? Again, we're in a window with the players they have.
Yeah. And
you're going to have Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, the first 3 hitters in the order next year too. You can pencil that in right now.
And he should win Manager of the Year just for the last line he used after the Dodgers clinched the NLCS when he says, "We're going to continue to ruin baseball if we can help it, baby."
Yeah, a little sarcasm in there, but yeah,
it was great. That's not Dave though. Typically, he pulled that one out of a hat.
The guy loves the game. The players, he communicates exceptionally well with the players. He hasn't, it's not like he's a manager who's been one place a long time and he loses the clubhouse because he's just the message is old. The message is fresh, and the players respect him because they go to him. They work together. It's not a dictatorship in there. They work together. He's got veteran players who know their capabilities, and they really appreciate Dave. I think he's the epitome of the players manager, especially a veteran players manager. And he treats the young players so great. Everybody who comes in there, it's not like, "Hey, Rook, you're getting hazed." No, everybody is important in there, and that's the culture in that clubhouse.
Yeah, and I think the average person should know too, Tim, that he treats everybody that way, not just his team. I mean, to me, I've dealt with him way back as a player, and he's as good as it gets. I mean, he's just a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Yeah.
Got time for a quick story. I remember it was a spring training game many years ago, and it was Giants and Padres, I think, and I had to go do some interviews for something, and I didn't ask for Dave Roberts.
Okay.
I asked for another player with the Padres.
Right.
At the time, it might have been I don't remember who it was, but whoever it was went in the dugout before I could get over to the third base side, and Roberts came in from the outfield, and he said, "Was somebody looking for me?" And I said, "Yeah, me."
Oh, really?
Goes,
okay.
Because I needed somebody. And he goes, all right, let's do this right now. So we did a great interview there.
That's
awesome.
I
told him about it years later, and he's like, "Oh, you tricked me." I did. But, and I talked to him about his football playing days because he was recruited to play at Air Force as an option quarterback.
Oh, okay.
And he almost went. He was really close to going, and then he just, at the end, he decided to go to UCLA. He didn't necessarily think that he wanted to have the lifetime military commitment.
Right.
But he went to UCLA, played baseball, and the rest is history for him. But he's been such a good guy, and he's got great stories. And
sure.
He and
I had him on this show just before they went to Japan this spring. And so anybody wants to watch that show, it's right here on this Touching Greatness YouTube channel. Just scroll down after you're done. I got I think it was like 40 minutes with him. It was great. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a good person, and again, he treats everybody well. So that I think has served him well. Yeah, and speaking of this show, as we say goodbye and get ready for first pitch in Toronto, there's a Dodger fan that I think I'm going to be interviewing on Sunday that probably most people would, in a million years, would never think about it. But this guy, the guitarist for the Doors, Robbie Krieger, wearing his Dodger jersey, playing the guitar. Okay, I bet you're not aware of that. Well, he's one of my favorites. Is he really? There he is. Oh, I love the Doors. Yeah, and Robbie, I played golf with him a couple of times. He's a great guy. I've been bugging the crap out of him and his guys to get him on my show, and I think Sunday I'm not going to be able to do a full show, but I might do it like a Facebook Live with him from his studio. And I guess it's going to be right before the World Series starts. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. No, let's see. They're off on Sunday, right? Off on Sunday. Yeah, they're off Sunday, which is smart for NFL. Travel day, yeah. Yeah, okay. So there won't be one. So we'll see if the Dodgers are up 2-0 or not. But I'm telling him, please wear your Dodger jersey when you do the interview. Oh, my. Is that great? L.A. woman, man. He just rocks. I mean, Robbie Krieger is unbelievable. That's a great get, Ted. Yeah, and he also wrote Light My Fire, of course, and some of the great. Touch Me is my all-time favorite Doors song. Yeah. One of the guys that plays with him, I think it's in this next picture. See the guy playing the keyboard on the left there? Yeah. His name is Ed Roth. He plays with Robbie when they do any gigs around the country. They got their own little band going right now. And Ed told me, we had a chat the other night, and he said, if it wasn't for Robbie, the Doors would have never been the Doors because they wouldn't have had all those great songs. Yeah. Yeah. He wrote them. And like I said about L.A. Woman, right? I mean, I love the guitar solo in that song. Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. So good. Anyway, so that's a lot to look forward to. Hopefully Sunday afternoon. And then I'll have a planned longer interview with him. Hopefully. I recognize the drummer too, John Dinsmore. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, the 60th anniversary of the Doors, the show is at the Greek next Thursday. So that's what this whole thing is about. And they got a book out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Do you know who this guy is from the back? You can tell or not? No. This was just for you. It was a little quiz. Look off to the right. What's on the wall? Oh, yeah, they're at the hockey arena. Yeah. So who's the best player of the Leafs? That would be Californian Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews. Yeah, born and raised in California, although sort of raised here anyway. Does he have a Jays hat on too? I don't know. They just posted this thing. He came to after they won the ALCS. He wore this to the game. Wow. So, and I think Guerrero was wearing his jersey too, like at practice or something. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's good stuff. That's great. Anyway, we're getting ready for the game, folks. Game number 1. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And Tim, I appreciate the time. I don't know whatever other angle we can cover on this damn series at all. Let's play ball, man. Let's get it going. I'm ready when you are. We're ready. That's Tim Neverett. I'm Ted. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And tell your friends I always say, tell your real friends, even your Facebook friends. Either way, they're sort of in the friends column. And enjoy the games. And hopefully I can squeeze Tim away maybe during the next week sometime if there's more to talk about. What do you think, Tim?
We'll see. We'll see. I got time. So
timing is everything. Enjoy the series, everybody.